morning. So today I'm going to be taking this fern that I bought last year that has become root bound, and I'm going to be dividing it into 4 different plants and putting it in some new pots with some nice new soil so that it can come back and start looking better than it currently looks. You probably can't tell. It is getting a lot of new growth. You can see the little fronds here, but it's time to repot this thing, and it's not very hard. And then I'm going to do a quick garden tour to show you what's going on in the garden right now. So let's get this fern replanted. First you got to take these hangers off. Which is always the hardest part. There's one. The roots are wrapped around this other one here. There's 2. And there's 3. Alright, once you get that off, look at that. It's even growing out the bottom here. Anyway, once you get that off, just pull it out of the pot, which if it's root bound like this one, should be fairly simple. Then I'm just going to take this old knife that I have, and I am going to just cut it right down the middle. Now we have 2 separate plants. It has a bunch of leaves in there because we have oak trees. And I even have an acorn. So then I'm just going to take and quarter it, cut these halves in half. And that leaves you with something like this that you can plant in another container. So I'll have 4 of these. So I'm going to go get these into some new containers, and then I'll be back. Alrighty, well, it was like 90 degrees out here. We are in Texas after all, and it'll be in the 50s tonight. I got overheated and went inside after I got these planted. But I did get them planted. Let me show you what I got here. So I've got this one on the table, just in a little yellow planter. I've got the hanging basket back up. It is lopsided, but it'll start to fill out and become lush and pretty again. Now I overwintered this fern this year. The only time it moved from here was when we got down to 32 or below. Then I'd put it in the garage, but it stayed outside all winter long, which you can do in Texas. I put one in the middle of our picnic table in this terracotta pot. And I put one in this terracotta pot over here by the goldfish pond. They're telling me they want to be fed. But anyway, I did put all new dirt, and I did add some fertilizer to it. Let me find that fertilizer so I can show you the bag. So I just used some organic garden tone from Biopsoma, which is really for herbs and vegetables, but We're going to use it on the fern and see how that does. So because I took a break from my near heat exhaustion, I am not going to have enough time, not enough daylight to do a garden tour today. So I'll be back tomorrow to do that. See y'all tomorrow. Alright, well, I am back to do this garden tour. I never get real excited about the early garden tours because nothing's, everything's so new and so little, and it's kind of like, maybe I should wait. But by the time, then it's July. So a lot of things have come back. A lot of things have not come back yet. A lot of things are never coming back. But that's, how it works with gardening. So let me show you what I've got going so far, and I'll tell you about some of the things that I am going to be working on this week. So the ferns that I divided are doing pretty well. It's been 48 hours actually. There's one of them. So here are the azaleas that I planted that I got on sale for $7. Those are doing well. Here's the hibiscus. It's doing well. Bright, pretty blooms. There's the other hibiscus. No, that's an azalea. It's an encore azalea. So in this box, I have tomatoes. In that box, I have milkweed and sweet potatoes all the way down to here. That's all sweet potatoes. I haven't planted anything here yet because Tommy's going to be bringing some equipment through here. So this is I can lift this up and the dirt will stay for the most part. And Tommy can bring his mini, what is it called? A mini excavator through here. And that won't be such a big deal over here. So this is the rose bush that Tommy got me last year. Still living. Here is the climbing rose that I trimmed back a couple of weeks ago. Or was that about a month ago, I guess? You can see it has some pretty blooms on it. That's this side inside the trellis. And then it comes around here. Then we have spinach in this one. Not doing so hot, but I forget to water it, and that's not good. So there's that. The cannas are doing well. Got some pretty red blooms on there. Here I have some volunteer pumpkins. I can't remember if these were the white pumpkins or the orange pumpkins, but we're going to find out. They're doing well right here. I have a cherry tomato that I bought at the store here, and then I have some other tomatoes that I seeded in here. And then on this far corner I have a bell pepper by its lonely little self. Don't know what kind of pepper I planted in here because you can't read. No matter how many times I use permanent marker, I don't learn. The cats keep getting in here, but I think enough will survive that we'll be okay. This is Havasu peppers. Cats also get in here. Make it a little box. Under here I have some Easter egg radish. Looks like I need to thin them out again. They're doing all right. Need to be watered. Over here I have onions. And you can see the cats are making a litter box out of this area. And this is garlic. And again, the cats just wreak havoc in here. And I'm really trying to figure out, you can see they just dig things up. I'm really trying to figure out how to keep the cats out of here, and haven't come up with much yet. So if you got any ideas, let me know. Of course, you have the crepe myrtles that line the road. Some of them are coming back, some of them more slowly. This is Ruellia. I need to cut back all the old growth. It's coming back up through there. Tommy's banana trees are doing well. We dug up that orange. No, was that an orange? Or yeah, it was an orange. And we dug up that orange because they froze. And then we have cannas over here. This is the blue potato bush. Need to cut off last year's growth. Here's all the new growth. You can see that part is just dead. It's not going to get new leaves on it. This is where I planted my potatoes, all along here. I need to go by and get some more hay today, because we want about 8 inches of hay on top of here, and it compacts down, so we need more hay here. Say hello to the fish. Here is one of the other ferns that I divided up. It's doing well over here in the shade. This is full of garlic, and it's doing okay in the baby pool. In this area, I planted a bunch of flowers, and you can see there's some chamomile, not that, but all these little bitty, that's probably chamomile. I know that's zinnia right there, and that's chamomile. So I think the chamomile comes all the way across here in the front. But as I showed you in my other video, I just planted a bunch of different kinds of flowers right through here. So this should just be a carpet of flowers by summertime. Some of them are slower than others though. We had 3 days worth of rain, and I'm pretty sure it moved a bunch of my seeds. You can see some right here. But hopefully they'll be in this general area and they didn't get all washed out into the grass. So that's a lantana. That's coming back. That's the pink and yellow lantana. Have some cannas there, cannas there. This is the area where my washing machine water comes out to, and the elephant ears will be huge by summertime. And here is a Confederate rose hibiscus. This was from last year, and normally this comes back every year. We'll get more leaves. It hasn't yet. But I am not giving up on this part. They never die, so we didn't have a harsh winter. I'd be surprised if the old growth from last year didn't come back. We're going to give that another month. There's my bird feeder that we made out of an old satellite dish. Got a cat sleeping on my granddaughter's trampoline. She's nice and cozy up in there. So the proven winners shrub I planted last year was variegated last year. As you can see, this year it no longer is variegated. So I don't know if it's ever going to be variegated again or if it just stops. And the chickens have destroyed the soil that's underneath here, so I'm going to have to put a whole bag of soil around here again tonight when I get home. Get rid of all the ivy. Not ivy, what is this stuff called? I think they call it potato ivy. I don't know. But it likes to grow around everything. Same story with this Confederate rose hibiscus. This normally comes back, but maybe this year they're not going to come back on the old growth. I don't know. We'll see. We have some Wandering Jew and them little carnation plants I never can remember the name of. Carnation looking plants, I should say. Right here. Got some oxalis right here. This was Mexican heather, and it hasn't come back yet. We're gonna wait a little while and see if this comes back. My shadow's in the way, isn't it? Here, let's move. There you go. And this Confederate rose hibiscus has been here a while. You can tell it's over 10 feet tall. And we have a bunch of new growth at the bottom. And we're going to wait to see if it leaves out again. If not, we'll be cutting this back. But that would be the first year in the 5 years it's been here that it didn't leaf back out again. Hibiscus are slow. They don't just pop out in, March, April. So they don't even flower until October. So don't cut those back because they're not blooming yet or not leafing yet. Here's another one of the ferns that I divided. And here's the last one. I didn't have enough soil for this one, so I got to get more soil this afternoon. Got some succulents down in this pot and a weed. Oops. Good thing it's a succulent. I just push it back in there. By this summer, this fills out and is overflowing. This was Mexican heather, and that's some more oxalis. Painted my wind chimes, not done yet. Salvia is coming back, as are all the weeds. You can see the salvia here, old growth there that needs to come out, and all the weeds. That's a weekend project. Still have a bunch of starts here that I need to get into the ground in the next 48 hours, and the Gumfrina, and Gumfrina, and I don't even remember what this one is. Lemongrass all needs to get put in somewhere because it's not doing well in these little pots anymore. My shrimp plant, I need to cut back all the old growth on that, and that'll be overflowing from the obelisk by this summer. Have a hydrangea here. Same old story. I need to cut off all this old stuff here. And as you can see, it's getting some pretty flowers. And we have a caterpillar, of course. But anyway, we've got some blooms on there. And in my little herb garden, we have a mess. Got an old wine bottle here that I fill with water and just stick down in the soil and refill it when it's empty. It was a Christmas gift to me, and I thought the bottom was so pretty that I kept this bottle. So this is all mint, and at least once a week I come out here and cut some off and dry it for my tea. These are garlic that I planted late last year, and as with all the other beds, the cats like to get in here. I've tried putting coffee in here. That's coffee filters. I just throw Tommy's old used coffee filters with coffee in them in here to see if that'll keep the cats out of here, but so far coffee is not deterring the cats. I've got some more stuff I'm going to plant in here today or this week sometime, so we'll get this cleaned up and If nothing else, I guess this is just going to be a mint bed, thanks to the cats. So anyway, did I say this was tomatoes? Because if so, I'm wrong. This is okra. And we don't really have any okra showing yet, because it's only been a couple of days and it hasn't really been warm enough for the okra. Over here is my cucumbers that are going to be growing along this fence. And there were some over here. What were these? Straight 8. These were straight 8s, and the chickens dug them up. So the chickens are now grounded to their coop. And I had to reseed this one over here. Starting over from scratch. And right there I have some more pickling cucumbers planted. And of course, I'm still working on my French drain project, which seems to be the never-ending project. I think I've got that deep enough. Just needs to be sloped a little more. And I gotta get all this dirt out. I think some more dirt out here. And more along the edge here. We're not going all the way down yet, just to about right there. And this side has that pipe and these mystery pipes here, which we don't even know what they go to. And then under this brick is the one that goes out to, for my washing machine, that goes out to there. Yeah, there. And we covered it so they wouldn't run over it with the lawnmower. So we have to figure out what this pipe goes to and finish digging all of this out. Fun times. So I need to get to work. Thank you guys for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe.